Hello, ma'am. I'm Rotractor Sia Darak, the sports director of Rotrac Club of NM College. And could you also introduce yourself?
Hi, Sia. I am Siddhi Naik. I am a chess tutor from since last 8 years. I am teaching right now in the Classics Chess Academy, which is in Vilepale. And over the last 8 years, I have taught more than 1,000 students, domestic, like internationally also and domestically also, from India and around the globe. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, that's really good to hear. So we'll be starting with our podcast, the third phase of our event, Pawn Sacrifice 2.0. So starting up, first question. When did you learn how to play chess and who taught you the game?
Okay, so I started learning when I was 5 years old. So it happened that my mother got one chess book. Someone gave it to us, and she started reading it and exploring this game. And she taught me the basics. Then we used to play at home, and she saw that I was very keen on learning. I had interest in chess, so she enrolled me for coaching. Then I started to take the coaching. I started playing tournaments since I was in first time, chess tournaments. And over the years, like it's been more than 20 years I've been playing chess now.
Oh, wow. Okay. Next, what are some of your most memorable experiences from the tournaments you played? So you played so many tournaments, so any memories, favorite memories of yours?
So tournaments are always like there are mixed emotions. You're excited. There is so much anxiety. If you have seen the Queen's Gambit, the series, we could totally relate to that tournament pressure, the pressure before the game, so that we could really relate to it properly. Experiences and memories, I would say that there is one funny memory actually, that the current sir who we had together in the panel discussion. So we had played a game together when we were in eighth standard. I don't remember this to be honest. We later met in college and then were together in chess team. But at that time, I had got a chess clock. So there's chess clock which everyone wasn't aware of how it works, how are the rules. It is like you have to tell your opponent how it works and you have to start playing. And it happened that it was his first time to play chess with the clock. So in chess, it is like you either win the game by checkmate, or if your opponent's time gets over, if the time is up, then also you win the game. So I had been taught that while playing with the clock, if your opponent forgets to press the clock, you don't have to remind them. You have to just keep waiting, acting as if you're thinking. And I did that, and I had defeated in the same way. But this memory was very precise in his mind. I don't even remember this, but years later, after around 4 5 years, when we were together in our college chess team, he mentioned that this had happened, and for me, it was like I have done this with many people, because it is like we are trained like this in the similar way.
Yes, ma'am, that's a really good memory, and I can relate with you with this chess clock because even I've played tournaments, so even I used to do
Yeah.
the same thing to think.
Yeah,
And
see, we have been taught like this. Whoever gets the clock, once you get it, you have been taught to function in the same way, that you don't have to remind your opponent.
yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. Next question: how do you stay motivated?
Um, so since I've been teaching since a long time now, I am motivated many times by my students. So the way they are performing in their chess career, or the way they take this game, it's like it keeps the child in you alive. It helps you to have a different perspective, a kid's perspective, which is very innocent. And also they have always this new hope So this helps me to keep motivated. Also, since I love chess, like I love playing chess, I love teaching chess, to be precise. So yes, the response which I get from my students throughout this journey keeps me motivated. The response of their parents telling how they are performing, apart from chess, how chess helps them to uh, see, like, take their academics in a better way, other life skills like analytical skills. It improves your focus. It raises IQ. It develops thought process and perspective, like pattern recognition ability. So these things I get to know from the parents, that after enrolling for chess, they can see these improvements in them, and because this also keeps me motivated.
Okay, ma'am. What is your thought process which you go through before making a move in chess game?
Oh, that is a really good question. So the thought process is like, it is always the calculations in chess. It is all about the calculations. And again, we have, I could relate chess with life a lot. Like, I had mentioned this also, but chess is about exploring and making a plan and then improvising it. So life is also about improvisation and exploring, right? We create a plan and we just keep changing it or improving, to be precise, while we face whatever circumstances which come along the way. And if the plan doesn't work any longer anymore for you, you abort it and start with a new one. So life is also about knowing when to stop, right? Identifying the things which no longer work for you and letting them go. Similarly, I take chess. Like, I have to think that the plan which I had earlier made, is it still working or not? Is it still feasible? That is the thing before making every move. You have to actually play your opponent in chess. It is said that you don't play the board, you play your opponent. So it's always like what your opponent might be thinking, what must be their plan, and accordingly you have to play your.
Yes, ma'am. Totally agree with you on that. Who inspired you to play chess and continue chess throughout the journey?
Um, my mother, to be very honest, she pushed me for playing chess when I was a kid. So at times I used to like chess. It's not that she totally pushed me. I used to love chess, but sometimes I used to feel like, why should I go for the tournaments? Why she's pushing me so much? I used to get pissed at her, but she motivated me, and where I'm today because of her. Also, throughout this journey, I used to look up to Vishwanathan Anand sir, of course. And over the years, as they were past Magnus Carlsen, so these are the two grandmasters I used to look up to while I was on this journey.
Okay, ma'am. Um, do you also play chess online? And is it different from playing on the board?
Oh yes, I do play online because since the last 1.5 years, the pandemic hit us. Teaching also and playing also has been moved to online. Earlier, we used to take offline classes. Now, because of chess, the classes has been moved to online, and there is a lot of difference. Very, like, a lot of difference there. Actually, playing the chess on the board gives you a different perspective. Like, and the way you see your opponent, you know their reaction, you know how it works. This works really different in online. Online you cannot see anyone. There is a tournament I haven't played online, just the practice games or the usual games I have played, but there is a lot of scope for cheating also if it comes to online, which is not there in offline. And the overall feel, I would say, is different. It's better in while playing it on the board.
So you would prefer playing chess offline physically rather than playing online?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I
Rather
think we
than
all are
online, I would.
waiting
We,
for the situation to get better so we can play, go out and
yeah,
play chess.
we can go out and play. The feeling is different to play on the board.
Yes, ma'am. Miss, what do you think are some of the false assumptions that people make about the game chess?
The assumptions being that they are very hesitant to start the game itself because they think that it is like it's the brain work, it's the game of intelligent people, they would say, to be honest. But it's not that. Chess is not just about to be played by people with higher IQs or those who are very good academically. It's not that. So this is the main point I would feel, that they are hesitant to start with. I have observed in all these years that children or people who are not performing that well academically still can play very good chess. So there are many of my students who don't like to study, but they love to play chess and they are performing very well. Like they're winning tournaments, they're excelling in their age categories. So this is one point I would say.
Yes, ma'am. Can you recall a specific turning point, a game, an event, working with a chess coach, etc., which helped you to reach to a level where you are right now?
So I had heard in an interview of Vishwanathan Anand sir that most chess games are not decided by the good moves. They are decided by your state of mind, and the good and the bad moves follow that. So that was a aha moment for me. And like, yes, it's all the internal work, it's all the mindset. And that is the reason I always ask my students, the first thing we start, that are you in the mindset to learn this? Are you ready for it? So and again, as I said, that it's about the state of mind also, and coming into that state of mind, like how often can you bring yourself there? That is the thing. If you are in that right state of mind, you can definitely ace the game.
Okay, ma'am. So that one interview of Vishwananda Anand sir was the turning point.
Yeah, till then I used to be like, yeah, today I played good, today it was okay. But then I got to know that this is the state of mind. You should put yourself in that mind state of mind and then start the game. It's different. Then it's not about the moves. It's like just you should be prepared mentally to do that. It's all the internal work.
Yes, ma'am, that is very much informative, and thank you so much for saying, because now even I am thinking that after few years, if someone will ask me what was your turning point in the field chess, if I play chess, then I'll say the interview with Siddhi, ma'am.
Oh my god, I'm so glad to know that this conversation was really impactful for you.
Yes, ma'am, yes, it definitely was. So
Okay.
lastly, if any of your students would like to pursue chess and make it a career out of chess, so what would your advice be?
I would say just go for it. Like to get into that mindset, or to come to that decision, right? That I want to pursue chess as a career is a huge thing. That someone is arriving at that decision or towards that thought is itself a big thing. And if they are actually there, then you should support them. Like their internal work or their own thought process is actually set, and they just need our support for it. And it's like, go for it. But of course, the parents or the coaches, any people around them should also be very cautious and careful while talking with them. They should be kept motivated. As we discussed in the panel discussion, that there are not many prospects for chess players at mid level. They are directly getting benefits or subsidies, any all kinds of advantages are when they reach at the grandmaster level. So this should change for many people to take up chess as a career or take up any sports as a career. It is not just restricted to chess. It happens to many. It is the same thing with many sports also.
Yes, ma'am. Players, participants, they always need the parent support. So
Yeah.
that was one good point. And with that, we've completed all the questions, and that was it for our podcast with you. And we hope that you enjoyed, and all our listeners and viewers, I think they might have also got some really good points to purchase.
Yeah, thank you so much. I loved how you phrased all the questions. So this was really insightful for me as well. Like it made me think about all these things. We usually don't touch those areas now when in the routine life. So it also made me think. So thank you for conducting this session. This was really insightful and impactful for me as well.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Glad to hear that.
Okay.
So, be a